Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patric Young and Terry Norvelle.
And then there were none, as in undefeated NFL teams, as after a thrilling Sunday night NFL football game was complete, the Buffalo Bills defeated the Kansas City Chiefs. So everybody in the league has at least one loss. It was a hell of a run for Kansas City, and they certainly will be a factor as the rest of the NFL regular season and the playoffs begin. Hi, everybody. Terry Norvelle coming to you from our brand new Monday home. We've been here now about a month, maybe 6 weeks or so, and love every trip over to Icebreakers Bar and Grill. This is the massive, wonderful sports bar, really a restaurant sports bar inside the Community First Igloo. You know where it's at by now. You've passed it a million times. The exit right there on I-95 at Emerson. You look over, you see the Igloo, the Community First Igloo. This is where we are at. Massive structure here. Two full-size ice rinks. You could play games on them. They have practices. They have leagues. The Icemen, their headquarters are right here. Their corporate headquarters are here inside the Community First Igloo. And, of course, this is their practice home, and then they play their games inside the arena downtown Jacksonville. Monday, a lot to cover, college football, NFL football. I want to get back to the Tyson Paul fight. I've got a little bit of thought on that. It was really a buzzkill for most people, including the technical buzzkill that really just, that set Netflix. I wonder how many people canceled their subscription. Just a battle for Netflix. A good undercard, but not much on the main event. We'll talk college football. A lot of moving and shaking took place. Huge win in Gainesville. Really big win to stay alive for the Georgia Bulldogs. In Athens, some teams knocked out. Some teams have positioned themselves in. We're going to have a hell of a 2 weeks. A 2-week run to the finish to get to conference championship games. And then, of course, the Sunday after the championship games, I think that's December 8th, we will have the first ever 12-team selection Sunday for college football. That will be huge. But we've got to talk some Jaguars. Nothing official has come down to my knowledge. Been checking it all day. No moves in terms of Doug Peterson, Trent Baalke, one or both of those people. Conventional wisdom has it that you would think Shad Khan would make a move today. You really would. It's an off week for the Jaguars, so they will, as of today, you will have basically 2 full weeks to wrap around and play your next football game. If you're going to make a move in season, this is probably the day, or today, tomorrow, you would think, just to kind of get things settled, make it happen, let it happen. And then catch your breath a little bit. Have a good, 12, 13, 14 days. Nothing yet. I've made my thoughts clear. We'll talk about it as we go. I'll try to read some of your chats if you put them on here. I can't. If I was running the show, and I'm not, and what do I know? Just my one guy opinion, I couldn't in good conscience fire either one of the guys, Peterson or Baalke. Let me say it again. If I was making the call, in good conscience, I could not fire either one of Doug Peterson, head coach, or Trent Baalke, general manager. I would fire both of them. I mean, I'm not a big fire guy. I think people losing their job, it's not cool. And I think calling for people to lose their jobs, just to be calling for people to lose their jobs, is not cool. I could not look at myself in the mirror if I was Shad Khan and I fired Doug Peterson, because that then would say he was the problem. Baalke has done his job well. I could not fire Baalke and not Doug Peterson, because in my opinion, that would say Baalke's done his job well. Peterson fumbled. I don't think either one of them has done a good job. I don't see how you could fire Doug Peterson, yet leave the guy that constructed the roster, Trent Baalke, leave him in his position. That's my thought. I don't think Shad Khan, I truly think if you told me, Terry, what's going to happen when there's a move, when there's a high-level move with the Jacksonville Jaguars, what do you think Shad Khan's going to do? I think he's going to fire Peterson and leave Baalke. I don't have an inside scoop. Don't want an inside scoop. That's my opinion. What I think is going to happen. It feels like that. I don't agree with that. And if Shad Khan came to me and said, dude, let's have a beer. Let's talk about it. What do you think? I would tell him, if he told me that was his plan, I'd say, Shad, I think you're wrong. I would also say, Shad, I don't think you know how to run an NFL franchise. Now, how to run an NFL franchise, what's your goal, number one? Make money. Certainly, they all make money. So you almost have to – the NFL is so buttoned down and so dominant. If you get in the club, if you've got the money to get in the club, there's only 32 members, only 32 seats at the table. If you get at the club, you're going to make the money. So move that aside. I don't think Shad Khan knows what the hell he's doing running an NFL franchise. I mean, he's been here long enough now. What's he been here, 12, 13, 14 years now? He's had this team a long time. And before people say, well, Terry, what do you know? You're just some rube from the West Side. Hey, man, I'll be the first to admit, I do not think the richest guy in the room, Shad Khan, translates always to the smartest guy in the room. I don't think in this context, certainly Shad Khan's got the money. He's the richest man in the room. I don't think that makes him the smartest man in the room in this situation. I think he struggles. I think he needs to look at his entire organization, including his son and his analytics and everything. Anyway, my thoughts, what a miserable train wreck of a game that was yesterday for the Jacksonville Jaguars from the opening kickoff. My goodness. I don't want to pick on just one guy because I think it was an equal opportunity, absolute quit fest yesterday. To say the Jaguars quit in the game yesterday with Detroit is a bit incorrect because that would imply that they started. I don't even think they started yesterday, and I don't want to pick on any one guy because it was equal opportunity across the board, I thought. But my God, I guess because of where the football went early in the game, how bad did Tyson Campbell look? It looked like he had no interest in playing one bit of tackle football yesterday. He's getting paid a lot of money. He is getting paid. And you know what? Does it stink when you lose? Of course. Nobody wants to be on a losing team. And the losses have mounted up. They're 2-9 are the Jaguars. They're the butt of a bunch of local jokes, regional jokes, national jokes. They're a terrible, disorganized franchise. Not fun. But you got to remember, these guys, this is entertainment. When you break down the NFL, it's nothing really important. Sports is not important. The Jacksonville Jaguars, part of the NFL, they are in the entertainment business. They are trying to get you to spend your discretionary income, your disposable fun income on their product. They are asking you, if you really break down the NFL and pro sports, they're trying to get you to give them your entertainment dollar, not the golf course, and not the boating marina, and not the movies, and not the concerts. They're trying to get you to give them your money, and you are saying, entertain me and my date, my wife, my children, some combination, my buddies, whatever. And when you're getting paid to entertain, you can't just quit. I mean, if this was a Broadway play and only a quarter of the house is full, the actors and actresses on the stage still have to put out their best performance. Terrible yesterday. Absolutely terrible yesterday. 2-9. And, dude, there's 6 games left. That's the sad part, the scary part. There are 6 games left, and gosh, I don't have the schedule. 3 or 4 more home games. Those things are going to be putrid to go to. By firing somebody today, this week, what does it do? Probably nothing for the product on the field this year, but you almost have to get you almost have to cut some of the bad out and get it out of the building. Again, I've said this last week, and I'm going to reiterate. I'm not blaming it all on Doug Peterson. He's the head coach. He gets a lot of the blame. He gets a lot of the credit when things go right. But with his comments the last couple of weeks and the malaise around this team, this franchise, you've got to start getting some of that malaise out of the building. You just have to. It's no different. And I know I'm talking to a lot of business owners and a lot of middle to small size business owners. When you have an employee that is disgruntled, and certainly Doug Peterson is disgruntled. Now, he's the guy that has to get in front of the camera. So we know when the head coach is disgruntled much more and belligerent than other employees. But when you've got a high-ranking official in your organization that publicly disgruntled and belligerent, you got to lop it off at the knees, man, and get it out of the building. It will bring the entire building down. I think money being money, Doug Peterson is probably ready to shake hands. He and Shad Khan, they'll come to some agreement. They'll figure out the contract. That's what agents are for. That's what finance guys are for. But I got to believe Doug Peterson's ready to get out. It's been a battle, absolute battle. I hate to sound like smartest guy in the room, but I will take you guys back 6-7 months. Did I think it was going to get like this? Probably not, because you can't predict how ugly it's going to get, it being around an organization that's 2-9. But did I expect the record to be much better? No. And if you did, and if you thought the Jaguars were going to be good and the record was going to be a lot better because of what you heard, read, and saw from your fluffy local Jaguar media, well, then shame on you. I tried to tell you guys. There was nothing, and I've thrown this out for months. I'm still waiting on anyone, fans, media members, colleagues of mine. I know these guys. I know them all. All these guys, I know these guys. I like them, respect them. I've invited any of those guys. Can anyone, media, non-media, tell me definitively what made you think in the offseason that this team was going to be good? There was nothing that pointed to that. And I blame the media sometimes in the offseason. When we start hitting those, March Madness ends, the rest of April, May, June, July, I get it. It gets kind of dog days. Well, every year, and it happened this offseason. Oh, the easiest thing to do. Gosh darn, did you see the Jaguars draft? Whoo, man, did you see the couple guys they signed in free agency? Man, well, no. You can't just say, take the easy way out and go, gosh darn, they're going to be good. I can spend 3.5 months talking about them being good, and that'll eat up time. I hope my colleagues don't do that, but sometimes it feels like they do. Gabe Davis is and was just a guy. Just because you signed him, what was Gabe Davis? Eric Armstead was a 31-year-old tired-legged 10-year veteran. Mitch Morris, and Patric Young joined us. Pat, you've heard it. Mitch Morris came over, nice 10-year career. He's got 10-year tired legs. What told anybody they were going to be good, Patrick? I don't know. Patrick.
Well, I'm just baffled on why is Mac Jones so bad?
God darn, man. He's playing him. He will never get another shot.
I don't think so, man. Like he's doo-doo.
What happened?
I don't know.
The
Lions, we gotta give the Lions respect for how good their team is.
I agree. They're good.
I knew they were great offensively, but defensively, I didn't know that they were that like.
No. Man, they hit yesterday, didn't they? They hit and they tackled, man.
Why didn't we? We knew they were going to get blown out, Terry.
Yeah.
What the heck were we thinking not to just like?
We did.
$100.
I know.
$100. We get that. Probably only make like what? $30 back or something like that. But that's the easiest. Oh, and I know with Hard Rock, because I know Terry has gotten into that a little bit. Can you make your own parlay?
Yeah, I think you can pick out. I did it one time, and I missed the very first one, and it killed the other. Yes. Yeah, I think you can. Patrick, what about the lack of effort? I mean, and I hate to pick on Tyson Campbell, but the first couple of Detroit offensive plays went toward Tyson Campbell. Patrick, it looked like he was playing flag football. Patrick, he didn't want to. He put no. You've got to put it. You're getting paid to entertain people as a football player, Patrick. The effort.
Gosh, man, NFL is so finicky because you draft your guys, and if you believe them, you got to pay them.
Yeah,
if you believe that they're, and it just, with this season, I think if Tyson Campbell plays beginning of the season, maybe there's one or two more wins. I think maybe those Miami and Browns game, you get those.
Yeah.
Which it would be nicer if they had Jags had 2 more wins, but I don't get it. For these guys that get paid so much money, like look at the Daniel Jones situation. He just got benched for Tommy DeVito. I think it's just frustrating because like those guys, and I don't want to say like, because it's a cliche, guys get paid and then they kind of like, oh, all right, I got my contract, now I'm good, all this guaranteed money, kind of relax. I don't think you can do that really in football, especially if you're a star, to kind of like not still be hungry.
Yeah.
But I've seen it in basketball a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of NBA players, once they get that second contract, they're like, all right, like, I'll happily be the 12th man on the roster, making a few million, making my money. And but it's just frustrating, man, to like.
They dogged it yesterday, Patrick. I mean, the Jaguar players, most of them dogged
it. And what
is
your take right now? I'll say, like, should Trevor even try to come back and play?
I probably wouldn't bring him back.
I don't
think anything positive can happen if he comes back. There's 6 games left, Patrick. If he comes back and your team is still dogging it, to me, that's got a blindside absolute smash hit. I mean, you're setting him up to be a pinata.
Jags, we saw last year with the Panthers how their team knew the season was over and they just quit. And that's probably the easiest win the Jaguars have had since Trevor Lawrence has been here. Agreed. And I just would hate so much to see the Jags take that same approach towards this, privilege and blessing you have to play this game of football. You owe it to the football gods. You owe it to your family. You owe it to the fans to go out there and play, like, to not quit.
Yeah. That was ugly yesterday.
Like, you owe it to, and if you're going to quit, like, let somebody else get out there. If you're not going to be the type of guy that finishes every play, like there was what game was it? Yeah, the big one, Tennessee and Georgia. There was a play where this I can't remember his name, but lineman gets through, and he's a little smaller guy, so he's quicker. He's an end, and Nico starts running to the sideline to get away from him because he like got a hit. He sprinted.
Yeah.
To get that tackle. Nico, and he ends up, because he turned the corner, tried to run, and I'm like, and even the announcer's like, that is the kind of effort you want from your guys every single play.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, getting back to your original question, obviously you paid Lawrence a ton of money, and it is entertainment. People have paid to see entertainment. That's what football is. But I'll tell you, I would worry that guys are dogging it so bad that you put Lawrence back in there, he may be a pinata. All of a sudden, I saw Brandon Scherf, and I don't want to pick on him. He almost dogged it in the flat, missed a block, and I think it was ETN. He almost got that guy killed. And you're like, is he giving 100%? I don't know, man. I'm not so sure. I would put my franchise quarterback back out there with that team. Now, what do you think is going to make them not dog it anymore if their head coach gets fired? I mean, I don't know. Pat,
what's your take here, man? Like, I see there's a lot of support for Doug from the players.
Yeah.
I think Tyson Campbell spoke up, Josh Hines Allen. So, they love Coach Doug Peterson.
Then why didn't they play hard yesterday? I don't mean getting beat. I mean, I thought Hines Allen dogged it some yesterday.
And of course this will frustrate guys. I mean, I get it. If I was in the when Josh Hines Allen says that, and I said, hey man, this is just a fact. We usually correlate action or love with action. And it just doesn't seem, you guys say that you love your coach. I just haven't seen the effort out there. would you guys run through a wall for Dougie P? Like that was, and that's rare, I think, in the NFL to get that. Like I don't think like Bill Belichick was the kind of coach guys would run through the wall for, but they respected the heck out of him.
Yeah.
They doing your job, keeping your head down, under everybody on the same page of and that's the take now. I like the idea of bringing Bill Belichick back in terms of like if Shad Khan gives him the reins. Give him the reins.
Now, do you want him in the general manager's role or both GM and head coach?
I think for our team, like you allow Belichick to be on the sideline. I think that's where he wants to be. I mean, I know he would take, like, what coach wouldn't take both positions if they could get it.
Yeah.
But you allow him to, because I think that's where he primarily wants to be. He wants to be on the sidelines. And I think we joked about it last week. How ironic would it be that Mac Jones got away from Belichick and Belichick followed him to Jacksonville? But I just love the idea of, okay, maybe Belichick says, all right, you bring me on. I got these four guys that I work for. Love for you to interview any of them to be a GM or something like that. I just think it seems as though there's such a major disconnect, because I remember even the first year I got season tickets, and that was Trevor's first year. Do you remember all the clown costumes people were wearing?
Bulky.
Towards Bulky, like. Bulky. And apparently, maybe Shad Khan he saw Bulky as a cowboy. As a deep voiced, rugged cowboy instead of a clown,
And Patrick,
do you think it's? And I'm sorry to interrupt, Terry.
No, go ahead, Pat.
And I'll ask you this: like, because Shad is so close that he's blind.
Maybe.
Do you think does that make sense?
Could be. Could be. It doesn't make sense that he hasn't somehow either he figured out this NFL thing or got the right person to help him figure out. But I'll tell you one thing.
Well, at least he didn't do crazy things. Like, and look, I don't know if you talked about the Gators yet, but at least he didn't do like a Napier. And but when I joke, because you said it, when I joke with it about people, I was like, hey, I have a really good idea for what Coach Napier should do. I was like, we're going to be the first team in 150 years to not have a special teams coordinator, and we're going to have 2 offensive line coaches.
Yes.
And I'm going to do every single.
Yes, because I figured it out, and the rest of the guys never figured it out in 150 years. Hey, Pat, we're going to take a break. I got to ask you this, though. If you're Belichick and you do want to get back in it, every year 4 or 5 NFL jobs open up. Guys get fired. Occasionally a guy will retire, but guys get fired. Black Monday comes up after the final Sunday of the regular season. Black Monday will come up, and there's one opening right now in New Orleans. But there'll be 5 more openings. If you're Bill Belichick and you want to get back in it, why would you choose Jacksonville? It looks like Jacksonville is a long way away from being right? That's the thing. If you're Belichick, you look at the 5 or 6 jobs that are going to open, right? Would you pick Jacksonville?
And that's why I was thinking, like, for Ben Johnson, who's got a hot name as an OC,
absolutely
out there to be a head coach. I'm like, does Ben Johnson, like, is it a bad rap if a coach like him says, you know what, I want to be a head coach one day, but if that's my only option, I'm not going to take it, and I'm going to stay with the Lions?
Why set yourself up to fail? I mean, I've heard coaches say that over the years, and it's more in the college. I'm more close to college people, but I've heard that at the college big-time level. They say sometimes, no matter how hungry you are as an assistant, a hot guy, that you want to be the head guy. Everybody wants to be the head guy, but sometimes turning down a job that's got failure written all over it will help your career much more. Just wait it out before you take the first bad job that comes along.
I know,
because then you get that stink on you, right? Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
He had a chance and he won 5 games in 2 years.
And look, we know this. There's been some coaches that have been able to get that stink off them, and they've really had to work their way to get back. Like, I mean, Nick Saban and Belichick at their where were they, Browns? Had to get that off them for a while. And Ed Ogeron, he was going to retire. The white coach with Tom Brady before Bowles. Bruce Arians.
Arians, yeah.
He was going to quit. before
he was a mess. He was a mess there, for a while.
He was a mess. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
All right, Pat, man. I love the way he talks. He had that good old boy, just kind of accent, and I just hate when people are like, oh, he's trying to talk black. This man is 60-something years old. I think this is the way he talks.
Yes,
for a long time.
All right, Pat, let's set it up here. We're going to take a break, come back. Let's talk some Florida football. I was in Gainesville. You were in Gainesville. It was a special afternoon. It's a special afternoon, evening. Big win for the Gators. We'll continue Jaguar talk. Then about 4:40, we'll get some Iceman talk. Alex Reed, who joins us at 4:40 every Monday. And then in the 5 o'clock hour, Brent Beard, a lot of college football going on. My goodness, the race to the end of the regular season. That and a whole lot more. We're live at Icebreakers. You know it by now. The wonderful, huge sports bar restaurant inside the Community First Igloo. They do a super job here beautifully that afternoon in Jax, Vegas. Man, it looks good. Good weather, cool weather coming later. Football weather as we are deep into the football season. One down, a long way to go. It's a Monday edition of the Young Norvelle Show from Icebreakers Bar and Grill.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jax Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jax Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jax Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Oh man, look at there. Same shot going out, coming in. Beautiful aerial view of downtown Jacksonville, the bridges. Man, look at that sunset. Goodness gracious. I like it. It just happens to
outside a little bit today, Terry. It was
I was in and out.
Beautiful. It's hard to believe that it was 77 and sunny.
How about that?
It felt like, because I in the sun a little bit, man, it'll still burn you.
Yeah. It's nice out there.
It felt like 85 degrees when I was sitting out there with my dog.
Oh, yeah. It was gorgeous. But what's funny, I'm wearing a light sweater because, inside the igloo, we got ice. Yeah, it gets a little chilly. And you got two ice rinks in here. What an awesome facility this is, though.
Man, Andy Kaufman, I'm so just impressed by his drive to just make stuff. And you and I, we got to go to Iceman game, man. They're so much fun. I think they're having their toy drive, or it's a really cool one where you throw the teddy bears on the ice. Something coming up. I would love to make it out there.
Yeah, we'll have Alex Reed from the Iceman here at about 4:40.
Oh, nice. I have so many questions. Player?
Yeah, we get it. No, he's the director of communications and broadcasting, but he knows what's always going on. So I bring him on every Monday.
Nice.
We'll look back at last week's games and these upcoming games.
What time will you have him on at 5?
About 4:40 to the top of the hour, and Brent Beard in the second hour. Patrick, Perfect. Is that a golf glove, or are you about to choke somebody out?
No, it's a regular glove. I got to change.
No fingerprints, man. No fingerprints.
No fingerprints. Yeah.
Right.
My mom. I think it's so funny when you say something out loud with a group of your friends or whatever. It's like, hey, if you're going to commit murder, make sure if you're going to hide the body and you want to feed it, you got to cut the head off.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No dental records, get those teeth, and cut the fingers off. And my mom's like, "Oh, I'm scared that you know all this stuff." I'm like, "Mom, our country has been obsessed with true crime.
Yes,
CSI, NCIS, all this stuff, serial killer. Our country is obsessed with it."
Yes, I agree.
How can you not? Oh, and there was actually a thing I'm going to watch here soon called Heist. And one of them, I think I started watching it a little bit. One of the guys on there, Terry, he got away with the crime from watching a bunch of shows and learning how to get away with whatever he did.
Well, Patrick, I think there's 8 different NCIS. If you got a big city, you got an NCIS Miami, CSI or CSI Los Angeles, Chicago, CSI Boston, CSI New York. That's all anybody cares about is these murder mystery things. I don't like it. Hey, what a weird game. If I told you, Patrick Young, Friday, if I said, hey, by the way, tomorrow, LSU is going to run 50 more plays on offense, 50 basically more snaps than Florida, and they're only going to score 16 points and they're going to get beat by 11, you'd have thought I was crazy. How did that happen? I was there. You were there. How did that happen?
Yeah, it was comical just to see that
third down.
LSU had the ball for more than double the time that Florida had it in the game, and the score was tied. And I'm like, what's going on here? And dude, I got to give credit to our DC, Coach Napier. I don't know what they did and how they did it to get this defensive line to just go insane. 8 sacks on the night like that. And sometimes, and I agree with Nick Saban, sometimes a sack doesn't always necessarily make a huge difference, but when you get 8 of them.
And most of them were in the second half. They got going. Actually the second half, both of those defensive lines took over the game. Florida could barely block their guys.
Florida couldn't run. Florida could not. And man, just DJ Lagway
he's special.
You got to be.
He's special.
Look at the numbers and understand that the kid, he didn't run a single time because he can't.
Not at all.
And he went out there, and that's what people, I'm so glad they won, obviously, but, him at 70% or whatever that was, gave the Gators the best chance to win.
And there's a threat. When he's on the field, everybody knows there's a threat. It was interesting. He obviously, there were multiple times where he could have pulled the ball out of the belly read and got big yardage, but LSU could tell he wasn't going to run, and he didn't run. Man, can he throw the ball?
He can throw
really
it, man.
throws. He throws a free.
Hey, man, that first touchdown, I think Grant Nussmeier threw, Garrett Nussmeier,
beautiful
when he guy right in this, like, it was his last read, and I'm like,
beautiful pass. And
everybody around it, I was like, hey, man, that was a perfect throw.
Nussmeier played well.
That was his last read, and he kind of like little pumped it before he put it right on the money.
And there were 3 defenders in the area. That was a gorgeous throw. Nussmeier played well, I thought, for LSU. He played winning football.
Is this his last year?
I think so. I think he's last year.
I think if he had another year, I think he potentially he possibly can be an NFL. I can see him as he'll be a guy that will hold a clipboard for a little bit, get in some garbage time, maybe have the backup, maybe gets an opportunity to start one day.
He played real well.
I think he will get a fair shot in the NFL.
And they've got some receivers too. They've got some athletes at wide receiver.
Oh, but it was so crazy, man. I don't remember who their star guy was, but we shut the heck out of him, man. Their star receiver, he had like 3 targets.
Yeah. Boy, they got pretty. I don't know, something about that LSU uniform over the years. All their guys look athletic in that uniform, man. They look good. Patrick, here are the numbers. Total plays ran in the game in Gainesville Saturday. LSU had 92 offensive snaps. Florida had 43. And Patrick, remember, 2 or 3 of those were kneel downs.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They were kneel downs at the end of the game.
That's so crazy. That's like this is equivalent. This is equivalent to beating Utah at home 2 seasons ago. This is very simple.
I don't know how they did it, Utah or this game.
I know, right, man?
How about your time of possession? LSU had the football 41 minutes and 43 seconds. Florida had the football 18 minutes and 17 seconds. LSU scored 1 touchdown on 92 snaps, Patrick. 1 touchdown. The last time I looked at the stats, LSU was 11 for 20 on 3rd down. And they were long 3rd downs they converted, too. It was 3rd and 9, 3rd and 12. They were converting them. Oh,
yeah. Well, crazy. I give credit to credit to Gators, in terms of, they never gave up a 3rd and actually they may have 3rd and 20. They gave up a 3rd and 20 once in that second half. Yeah, they gave up a 3rd and 20. But I just remember, Miami and Texas, that Miami game would have been closer had not there been, the discipline penalties of those 2 roughing the passers that would have led to some punt. Yeah, I think Miami still would have won the game. Would have been a lot closer though. Yeah. But A&M, gosh, isn't it so crazy that Reed with A&M, oh my gosh, against Florida, you're like, wow, they found their guy. He might be the next Jaden Daniels.
Yeah,
has a great game against LSU, and then now they can't figure it out. A&M, they have great things around them, they just can't. You can't. I don't think you can win.
Well, let me tell you how
the ball 5 times a game, Terry.
Patrick, let me tell you how you keep saying they haven't figured it out and can't win. If Texas A&M wins Saturday, they beat Auburn. If Texas beats Kentucky, well, Texas A&M and Texas are going to play, and the winner's going to Atlanta.
Oh wow!
All they have to, so they're still right now. They only have 1 conference loss.
A&M. And shoot. One of my best friends here, he's a huge Bama. He's so funny, man. He was like, man, I'm a Bama guy, but if Florida beats Ole Miss, it's like I'm full. It's like I'm a Gator fan. I'm a full-fledged. It's like, oh, did you see this morning? Chris Doering and Peter Burns had their little.
What was their bet? What was their bet?
It's always straight wins for LSU. And Florida.
What did they have to do though?
Peter Burns had to wear a marching band Florida outfit. Okay. Marching band outfit.
And that's the first time Doring's won that bet in
5 years. In 5 years.
Yeah. Hey, before we take a break, Pat, we're going to come back. Alex Reed, like I said, is going to be with us. We're going to talk some our I Spin Hockey Report. Remember the game, though, in Gainesville Saturday. Remember how it started. It looked like a disaster. Florida had 5 penalties in their first attempted 6 plays. Patric, at one point, Florida had 3 plays snapped and 20 yards in penalties to start the game, for God's sakes. What a weird game.
But hey,
92 plays for LSU, 43 for Florida, including 3 kneel downs at the end of the game.
92 plays.
They had 92 snaps, Patrick.
Man, did you see Brian Kelly got after one of his guys on the sideline? Don't you walk away from me.
Hey, Brian Kelly's
you're uncoachable.
Yeah.
Where's your effort?
Brian Kelly's one of those coaches.
I love the lip readers that can get that stuff down. Right.
Brian Kelly's one of those coaches. About 4 years into his tenure, he just rubs you wrong. He's just he's probably not a bad
that's
guy.
what I felt about him at Notre Dame. Yeah.
He just rubs you wrong. Hey, Pat, hang tight. Let's talk some Iceman hockey. Alex will answer some of your questions as well. We'll talk what happened last week, what's facing them this week, and a little bit of hockey talk, Iceman style. On the other side, the Young Norvelle continues.
One day we'll talk about soccer.
Yeah, one day, Patrick. I'm going to leave that up to you. We'll talk some Iceman hockey on the other side. Coming to you live from Icebreakers Bar and Grill.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jax Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jax Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jax Beach.
Since 1936, Procter Ace has been proudly helping Jax with all your home and garden projects. Whether you need tools, paint, plumbing supplies, or expert advice, we've got what you need to get the job done right. Looking to brighten your yard? Visit our garden center for plants, tools, and everything to make your outdoor space flourish. You're not just shopping here, you're part of our community. So come in today and let us help you tackle your next project with a smile. After all,
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
When I say it means something to me, gentlemen, it means something to me.
High school football is back, and it's bigger than ever. Welcome to the Friday Night Zone Blitz.
It is bigger than a game.
Watch the biggest games each week live as the action unfolds with instant reaction and analysis from our Hall of Famer, Kevin Sullivan. It starts with live look-ins at the top matchups, including our Jaguars Prep Whataburger Game of the Week, and that is just the beginning of 4 straight hours of coverage. From 8 to 10:30, the Friday Night Zone Blitz is streaming on our Action News Jax app and online. At 10:30, the Friday Night Blitz you know and love. A half hour of highlights from around the area. 11 o'clock, we shine the spotlight on the bands that pump up the crowd. 11:15, it's time to blitz through the highlights online and on air. Then 11:35, back to the stream to break down the night's results with a reaction from local coaches. 4 straight hours of high school football on the Friday Night Zone Blitz. Only on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Baker Sports is local sports. Uniforms from Pop Warner and Little League to travel ball, high school, and college. They make you look good. They help you play good. Baker Sports has been helping families make memories that will last a lifetime with their Baker's Buckets. We've got a lot of these filled with baseballs and softballs in the garage. I've been throwing batting practice to Ty and Kaylee for years and also sit on the Baker's Bucket, catching Kaylee while she practices her pitching. Yeah! Baker Sports is homegrown, and a lot of employees that used to play on local ball fields now work for Baker Sports, now helping you look good, play good, and make memories of your own. Visit Bakersport.com to see what Baker Sports can do for you. Custom apparel, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, embroidery, screen printing, and more. Baker Sports is local sports from Jacksonville to anywhere in the Southeast. Bakersport.com.
A beautiful sky overlooking Jacksonville. Again, I love the look as we welcome back to the Young and Norvelle Show inside Icebreakers Bar and Grill. Terry Norvelle joined by Alex Reed. I think we still have Patrick, but I love the I love that shot there. The problem is it gets dark too quick now.
It does,
Mr. Alex Reed.
Oh, I know. I can't stand it, but I guess it means one thing. It means it's hockey season.
It's hockey season. Sure.
But, you're
Patrick
right.
had some questions he wanted to fire your way, and we'll see if he's still with us and catch up. But let's catch up a little bit. Last week was a special week. You had the early morning game. Orlando, I think, came up. Mm-hmm. All the students. I think we dropped that one, but it had to be a packed house. I drove by. I was working Wednesday or Thursday, whenever that was.
Thursday, yep.
Yeah. I drove by the arena. It was like 10:15. That place, there were more school buses. Talk about last week. How did we fare? We got a couple wins, it looks like.
Yeah, we had 3 games in 3 days, all at home, and we won 2 of the 3. And honestly, with the one game that we lost, which was that Thursday school day game, we played well enough to win. We only allowed a season low 22 shots against, and but I had a 2-0 lead in that game. But
that hurts.
I know it hurts. I mean, we controlled the game, but Orlando scored 3 goals in 45 seconds, and so. Other than 45 seconds last week, almost with a
come on,
lead.
man.
I know it was one of those weird anomalies in hockey that you get sometimes, where it's just it's one of those where you outplay a team you probably should have won, but you didn't. That's sometimes the game of hockey is not fair like that. So
Icemen had a real neat. So they then go on and win a couple.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
So it's a nice week.
Yeah,
it was a nice week. You're up to 5 wins now.
Yep.
And moving up the standings. I mean, 72 games. So
yeah,
it's a marathon.
We've also played less games than pretty much everybody.
Yeah, because the schedule was weird here with Florida, Georgia, and it happens every year. You had to get away and couldn't play, and
right.
Yeah, and you can't always say, "Hey, we need to come to your place." It just doesn't work out during that week.
Yeah.
The rest of this week, but in terms of home games, I guess Wednesday the 20th. Which is a couple days from now.
Yep.
And I think it sets up pretty cool. 7:00 Wednesday the 20th. Okay. And then the next home game, as I see it, is the following Wednesday, the 27th. That's the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
School's out.
Yeah, it is.
That could be a really fun night before Thanksgiving. You got family in.
Yeah. No, it is. It's usually a pretty well attended game. And it's a Wednesday game too for tomorrow, or I'm sorry, on
Wednesday.
20th, this Wednesday,
20th and 27th.
Yeah, 27th Wednesday. So every Wednesday game this year, we have the $3 beer and wine special. So people like to take advantage of that, especially around the holidays.
Yes.
So that'll be a big game, 2 big games though, but especially the one on the 27th.
Again, that's before Thanksgiving. School's out.
It's school's out. It's a great time to bring the family out. You have the drink specials, but also we're playing one of the top teams in the division, South Carolina, and it's always heated. It should be a really great game. But that's usually a game where a lot of people like to go, and it's a great thing to do if you got family from out of town.
How to pick it? How do people get tickets? If there's an easy way, they go right now. I'm going to get them right now. But how do they go? Where do they go?
Yeah, they go to Ticketmaster right now if they want to do that. And then, or you could just
Iceman.com.
You go to Iceman.com or just call our office. And our staff is awesome.
Yeah.
They can probably save you a couple bucks too. So 904-602-7825. Keep it simple. 904-602-PUCK. So there you go.
Nice. Puck. Easy now. Puck.
Yeah, I know. Puck with a P.
Puck.
Got to pop the P's there.
Yeah, definitely. But I like that setup. The next 2 Wednesdays, and we'll talk. You got a little road trip on the end of the week, but I like it. It's 29, 30, and 31. But it's just up to Atlanta. A couple games, right? So I like that whole, your team, you're playing before Thanksgiving, you then hit the road. I'm jumping ahead a little bit. You then hit the road, but it's just right up the street. You go to Atlanta and catch Greenville coming back.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
You're not jumping on a plane and going a million miles away.
Yeah, you're right. Trust me, it's not always like that where you have that convenience, because Atlanta and Greenville, and it's Greenville, South Carolina.
Yes.
They are, they're just about an hour and 45 minutes apart, so it makes it an easy trip. If you're going to go up there, you might as well just go ahead and knock out.
Bam,
Yeah,
come
exactly. Make it worth your while to go out there. doesn't always work out that well. But you're right. This is if you're going to have a 3 games and 3 days slate on the road.
Yeah,
that's actually
not bad.
Pretty good trip for the guys.
Not bad. So we're this Wednesday. Are we this coming weekend? Are we on the road or are we off?
Yeah, this upcoming weekend we are on the road.
Yes, right. We're on the road there.
Yeah, and then on the road, then obviously we come back for that Wednesday game. And then back on the road for
that nice trip. That nice trip.
Yeah.
So the next 2 Wednesdays are your next chances to catch us at home.
Correct.
The Icemen at home.
Correct. Yep.
And our promotions this coming Wednesday, the 20th. And the 27th, weeble, wobble, wobble. There was something about turkeys or something in there.
Yeah, the gobble wobble.
Gobble wobble.
Yeah, that's always a lot of fun there. That's basically, again, it kind of ties in. We have the promotion for everybody, the $3 beer and wine specials. But the gobble wobble is a special where you can purchase it. It's a package. Comes with a ticket. Comes with a pregame, drinking, sampling with some of our great partners. So it's just basically kind of like a VIP opportunity to just kind of hang out, and drink some of the local brews and taste from across the area. And you get a ticket to the game. They just call it the Gobble Wobble.
Now, a home Iceman game, I always talk about, I've been to a bunch. I don't know how to describe it, but the non-Zamboni end, where the Zamboni comes in where it opens, right? So the other end's closed.
Correct. Yep.
That is the cheering, chanting, they're together.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing that for years, as I understand it. Do you know those people? And are there a couple ringleaders? Because there seems to be 1 or 2 guys that get it started, and I love those guys.
No, they're great. No, you're right.
Do you know these guys?
Yeah. I know quite a few of them actually. And obviously, our fans are great. They're passionate. They're very smart knowledgeable about the game. They really are. And they lead those chants. And so then they kind of everyone that sits around them learns how to do it as well. And then when they come back, they want to sit in those
areas. It's got a college football feel to it that they know. It's almost like they're the band in the, and they get it going.
They do. And it's not a place that goalies, opposing goalies want to be. And unfortunately, that's the end that they're in twice. So unfortunately for them, they get, every time they allow a goal, they're told that it's their fault.
I didn't even realize that. But 3 periods.
Yep.
And you can manipulate, I guess, to their in the tough end twice of the 3.
Correct. Yeah. The opposing goalie is always in that end for every home game so that he gets he really gets to hear it.
Are those seats taken, or can John Q. Public buy into those areas to experience it sitting right there?
Yeah. I mean, we have plenty of seats available in those areas.
I'm sure there's a lot of sold out ones there as well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of season ticket holders that sit there. So those seats are reserved, but there's a lot of seats in that area if, you get on there, but you can't wait because those sections fill up. I mean, we're leading the league in attendance and, for now the 3rd straight year. So that those seats do go up, but again, there is seats for people to purchase. Just get on it and make the purchase and set it up.
But now you better have some thick skin. Now you better come to play if you get those seats behind that goal.
Oh yeah, you gotta jump in on the chant.
It's game
all
on.
that. Just ask. Our fans will tell you they're very, very cordial. They'll help anyone out there. But the chants are great, and I think it just improves the overall experience for them to be involved and engaged in the game. That's the true.
And you said the Icemen have led the league in attendance. How many times?
Now, last 2 years we've led the league in attendance out of 28 teams, and right now we're currently doing it again.
Now, how does that play?
And our attendance keeps going up every year.
How does that play with the rest of the league? This southern city, I know they want to call us Georgia, even if we're South Georgia or North Georgia or South Georgia, however you want to look at it. This southern city rolls in and leads attendance.
Yeah, I was just going to look it up real quick, but it takes too long. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, last year, 3 of the top 6 highest attendance in the league are out of the state of Florida. Us, Orlando, and then the Florida Everblades down in Fort Myers. So,
you should be ashamed the rest of the league, right? You northern,
and
so-and-so.
And then Savannah is also in that mix. Savannah had sold out 33 of their 36 games last year.
Are we doing some of that is a northern migration?
Yes.
A retirement down. I get all that, but there's got to be more to that. Are we doing better promotions? Is it different because we don't have hockey down here, or there's got to be a reason?
You know what? I think,
and I like it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we do too. I think just the success of growing the game here in the state. I mean, you look at the NHL. The Panthers, the Lightning have had a lot of success. It's growing the game there. A lot of it is too. You have a lot of people from north moving here Obviously, we know that about Florida, right?
Sure,
but
sure.
they're all hockey fans, and then obviously now you look here more locally. You know, what is it that we've done? Well, we provide a very good quality product on the ice and off the ice with the promotions, catering to different audiences, and then now we have this beautiful facility where we're growing the game. And I'm telling you right now, when you look at the youth hockey programs and the Learn to Play program, we got figure skating going on right now, but it is all part of it. And our youth program right now is basically sold out.
Yeah.
Like we technically need another sheet of ice.
Before we go off every Monday in the second hour, I guess it's figure skating behind us, and it's open skate and all.
Yep.
But every second hour that we're here every Monday, they will partition this thing off, and the juniors, the leagues. I mean, they're being coached, they're having practice.
Yeah,
and they go at it, man.
They do go at it, and they do. They utilize it, and they break it up into sections there. So
multiple.
They're all really about the touches for kids. They only have so long to practice, but they want that hour to be. They want the kids getting a lot of touches, what they call like getting a chance to stick handle, do something with the puck. There's not a lot of standing around out there. Those kids are moving, and they're able to utilize that by sectioning off the ice there and doing different drills at different stations. And it really translates. And I'm telling you, the junior Iceman program has only been around just really for about 2 years now, and they're already making waves.
And they play each other. They play late. I mean, they're playing in a Florida league and in regional and national tournaments as well.
Yeah.
So
it's they're doing really well, and it's just Florida hockey, and you even see it at the youth level. A lot of these youth teams across the state, they go up and play in tournaments in Boston and Minnesota, and teams in Florida come in, and people up there kind of scoff at like, oh yeah, Florida, I bet they find out real fast how good Florida hockey is, because they actually win a lot of those tournaments.
And it looks like in terms of in the Icemen's League, there's a good 2.5 hours minimum away from each other. So it's a nice spread. Jacksonville, Orlando, a little bit further, the Everblades. Savannah's right up the street, but it's not right. Greenville, there's a nice spread. Right?
Yeah. I think with the Icemen, our location is we're kind of the central team in the division because, like you said, of just how close we are in the proximity to everybody. Charleston as well has a team, and then next year they're going to have a team in Greensboro, which will be a little bit further of a drive. But I think we're kind of the central team. But it's great for the Icemen because you have 2 hours to Savannah, 2 hours to Orlando,
and you can jump on a bus there.
It's all bus travel. That is all bus travel.
How many, without putting you on the spot, roughly how many do you have to jump on the plane? We've already gone to Tahoe, obviously. There's a few trips you got to jump on the plane, but it's nice. Almost like minor league baseball. You want it to be reachable, you know.
Yeah, and that's the thing about our league. I mean, because of the travel and the budget constraints and stuff like that, you don't play everybody in the league, at least once, like you might see a lot of leagues. But there is some crossover, and you do get to see new opponents. Like, again, Adirondacks coming here this Wednesday. That's a team out of the North Division. We don't play them very often, but it's an opportunity for fans to see a different team, which is cool. But I would say about 2 to 3 times a year, the team will have to go on a trip where they have to fly. So this year for the Icemen, it is 3 trips. Everybody has to go out west at least once, and so a season. So we went out to Tahoe.
Yes.
We are going to go out to Allen, Texas, which is outside of Dallas, in March, and then we go up and play the Reading Royals up in Pennsylvania.
And obviously you got to get on the bird for those 3.
Correct.
Yeah, you got to get on the bird.
Trips you do have to fly to.
A couple more thoughts with Alex Reed here from the Icemen. And by the way, you can always reach out if you got a corporate outing. I want to get our group over there or banquets. I know I've seen sports teams have their banquets at the Icemen. So you guys can accommodate a bunch of stuff. Before we get out of here, we had a call up, call down, but this explain Vernon got called up, and that name in hockey is very, very famous. Got called up to the AHL and came back down. But explain to that. I mean, his father is royalty.
Matt Vernon is on our team. He's our fantastic goaltender. He's in his second year. He won a lot of rookie accolades last year. And no surprise, because his father is Mike Vernon, the Hall of Famer.
I know that name.
Former Red Wing and Calgary Flame, and I think he played for the Sharks as well. But he was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame last year, about this time last year, let's say. And
does he show up around the Icemen?
We saw him last year. He did come in for a trip. We got to watch his son play, which is really
And he
cool.
just sits in the stands. I mean, he doesn't try to
low profile.
But
a great guy. He was some fans did recognize him, and he did talk to him and all that, and he's really nice. But I'll tell you, Matt, his son is, and that's the thing. People are like, well, is he a goalie because his dad was a goalie?
I assume that.
And the story was When you talk to his dad, Mike, he said, I never pushed him to be a goalie. I never really pushed him to play hockey. I just wanted him to figure out what he wanted to do, and if he ever wanted help. And it's actually a funny circumstance. Then he decided he wanted to be a goalie, and he went and had a couple games, and he didn't do well. And finally, he asked his dad. He said, "Dad, how come, you just don't help me that much? I want to be better." And he goes, "Well, I wanted you to find your own path, and you never asked. But if this is what you want to do, then I am going to help you." And he did. And obviously, so I love that about Mike. Is he didn't want to push his son. I don't want you to follow my footsteps just because
when he comes in, does he speak to the team?
No, he hasn't. He hasn't spoken to him.
And again, if you want me to, I'm here.
He never did like an official thing with like a pregame speech, but he was at the morning skate and the practices, and so the guy obviously said hello to a lot of the guys.
Last thing, and we'll let you get going. We visit with Alex every Monday. Our Iceman report here from Icebreakers. Our two state of Florida NHL teams.
Yes.
Who are they affiliated with? I'm assuming that we have their affiliation in our league. Mm-hmm. Who are they affiliated with?
So the Florida Panthers, they are affiliated with the Savannah Ghost Pirates right up the road. And then, as it turns out, the Tampa Bay Lightning are affiliated with the Orlando Solar Bears. So basically, those.
Wow, that's a nice close.
Yeah, it really is.
Not that the team in Miami and Savannah is far, but man, that's nice.
Yeah, it is nice. And again, you got you just talk about this region, this pocket here, affiliated with the last two. You look at the Lightning and the Panthers. They've been in the NHL Finals, I believe, 3 straight. Like if you the two of them combined, I think last 3 years, a team from the state of Florida has represented the East in the Stanley Cup Finals. And the teams here locally are affiliated.
I always say last, but it's never last. Have you, Alex Reed, ever literally touched Lord Stanley's Cup, the Lord Stanley's Cup?
I have been around it.
How close?
I never touched. I mean, I could have touched it. I mean, it was like right here in front of my face. I was reading it, looking at the names.
And there's one cup, right? It gets engraved.
I think they do have. They have two. One that kind of just is a replica that travels around, or actually is actually on display. But the one that actually travels around is the actually real one. It has the guy that there's always a keeper of the cup. But sometimes they have a second one that stays on display at the Hockey Hall of Fame. But it's been right in front of me, but I never touched it because they say. If you've never won it as a team, you got to earn it. That should be the first time you touch it. So I've never touched it, but I've definitely marveled at it, and it is pretty impressive.
Are we missing anything? And then we'll visit next Monday. Next Monday. Am I doing this right? Next Monday will be Thanksgiving holiday week.
Yes,
right.
That is correct.
This Saturday is the 23rd, and then we go in. Isn't that amazing? Are we missing anything we need to hit before we get you out of here?
No, I mean, I just think it's the team's playing very well right now, and they're actually playing well, and they're doing it without their top 2 scorers who are injured at the moment. But again, this game, home game this Wednesday. It's our first Wednesday game. The $3 specials. Take advantage of that, and
then home game the following Wednesday. That's going to be a fun one. Not that they're. I mean,
they're going to be.
And you kind of are always when your family comes in. You love your family and all, but sometimes you're trying to kill hours. I mean, they're in, and what are we going to do? And we can't just sit around. And sometimes the weather may not be golf, and everybody's not a golfer.
Yeah,
get over to the.
It's going to be great, and the more people in there, the better the atmosphere. It's
absolutely.
It's just a lot of fun, and it's more about than just the hockey. It's just the overall fan experience.
Is every home game open ice after the game? You can take shots.
Not every home game, but
not everyone.
Yeah, definitely on all of our Sunday games, and then there are some select games where you can go down on the ice and take a shot on goal. Now that's
pretty cool.
If you have a group though, if you bring a group of 10 or more out, like you bring your company or Christmas party, you want to organize something for your employees, or just a group of friends, or a church group, whatever the case may be. There's discounts on tickets, and there's a lot of perks like that where you can go down on the ice and get a group photo, center ice, shoot on goal. A lot of other little things, Zamboni rides. There's a lot of little perks that come in if you bring a group to a game.
Yeah.
So
I've seen it. Alex, thank you, buddy.
It's great.
Appreciate it. Always on Mondays. I look forward to this every Monday.
No, me too.
It's kind of a standing. It's kind of a standing 4:40 thing we're going to do on Monday. If that works in your schedule,
it works for me.
Let's keep me abreast of everything that's going on. I follow it and I try to keep up with it. But remember, I'm a Southern guy. I'm learning. I'm learning
great
as we go.
You're doing great. Great to see you,
Alex Reed. We appreciate you, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. Let's take a break. 1 down, 1 to go. We'll bring Brent Beard on. We'll get deep into college football. We touched on obviously the Gators' big LSU win. We've talked a lot of Jaguars. We'll turn it back to college football. What a weekend it was, and it's a sprint with 2 weeks to the finish for college football. Who will play in the championship games and maybe get themselves into the college football playoff. That and a whole lot more. One down, one to go. We're live at Icebreakers Bar and Grill.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jax Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jax Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jax Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who's coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Let's get right back into it. College football. Had a great visit talking Iceman hockey with Alex Reed. We do it at about 4:40 every Monday here live from Icebreakers. And we kick off hour number 2 with that guy, Mr. Brent Beard. Brent, what a college football weekend. I was in Gainesville for the afternoon game that ended up into the evening. What a crowd. The 2 SEC home crowds were incredible. Gainesville was unbelievable. And Athens, man, that crowd for Georgia really made a difference, I thought. Where do we start? What a weird game in Gainesville. 92 LSU plays, 43 Florida snaps, including some kneel downs, 43 minutes, to 18 minutes possession. I'm still not sure how Florida won the game, Brent.
That is that frankly, if people will look at that, is virtually a mathematical impossibility.
It really is. I mean, Florida defensively had to fight off LSU 50 more plays than Florida had offensively. Think about that. And Florida defensively, somehow in 92 snaps, they only allowed one trip to the end zone for LSU. One, and a bunch of field goals.
Well, they really the defense really in a lot of ways, you can make an argument they really won the game. And how well they played.
Absolutely, they did.
The thing that amazed me is the defensive backs in a depleted secondary play. Basically, the young kids played 93 plays.
That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Florida had 43 snaps, including those were kneel downs at the end. Florida had about 40 offensive snaps, and they piecemealed together 27 points somehow. I was there. It was hard to fathom. I like their chances if Lagway played. He was very limited. There was no threat to the run.
Right.
But Brent, now he's thrown enough passes on tape now and enough deep passes. If he's on the field for Florida, you cannot shrink the field because he'll throw it over the top. And that's a great threat to have. What happens when he gets healthy and can run?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Look, you can almost make the argument, and I really like Graham Mertz. He did a really good job for Florida.
Sure did. He really did.
But you know what ended up being a disaster has frankly ended up being a blessing for them.
In a weird way, it is.
Because if he doesn't go out, you really don't get Lagway in there. Yeah. Now, the thing that was really impressive too was Florida had 7 sacks on Nussmeier, and they only LSU had only allowed 6 sacks in 9 games.
That's crazy. And they played some big time opponents. You're talking Alabama, Ole Miss. I mean, Ole Miss has got a nasty front, and
they do.
And LSU has fought off a lot of nasty fronts. But Florida got there. The game was really interesting. The second half in Gainesville turned into the LSU defensive line and the Florida defensive line took over the game on both sides of the ball.
They did.
On both sides of the ball. What a win. A great atmosphere. I liked Florida having a good chance if Lagway played, and he did. What's your take? Who is Brian Kelly? I mean,
yeah.
He's had some marquee jobs. He got started at Cincinnati. He parlayed that into Notre Dame, LSU. Who is he? Is he a bit of a carnival barker? Is he a 4 years and the flame burns out? Who is Brian Kelly? Because I think he's going to be on the hot seat next year.
Yeah. Now, one thing that's going to happen now is his string of double-digit wins has been snapped. Now, I do give the guy credit. I mean, if you can win double-digit wins, and all those weren't at LSU, we get that. But to your point, also, I'm just telling you, we are both body English guys, sideline guys, culture guys to a degree. When you've got now, no one's going to be surprised when the coach yells at the players.
Yeah.
When you've got players on the sidelines in the middle of a game and they are yelling at the coach, that is a problem. And I don't know what they do to fix that. Now, the beat writers at LSU told us at the beginning of the year, this team is not where they need to be, and they don't have the players. And I think that's rather obvious. In this group too. Now, they do have Bryce Underwood coming in, who's the number 1 overall recruit in the 2025 class. LSU does. And by the way, Florida's recruiting over the weekend to now has gotten much better.
Yeah.
But and we'll get into that in a minute. But I mean, the question is, now he's the fourth LSU head coach to lose 3 straight games within a season since '99. Orgeron, Miles, and Jerry DiNardo did that also. So Terry, I'm with you. I mean, what do they do now to keep and what does he do now to keep the wheels from falling off?
And LSU's fan base, and it's a blessing and a curse.
It is.
They can get as loud as anybody. Their fan base can, from a good point of view, they can get as loud as anybody. The Alabamas, the Floridas, the Georgias, the Tennessees. But from a negativity standpoint, they can get as loud, and they're going to let him know about it this offseason.
Oh,
LSU has 4 losses. I don't have the rest of their schedule. They have 4 losses, and the LSU fan base is going to go, wait a minute, Mr. Brian Kelly, you're supposed to be this hotshot coach. You've already lost. He lost to Lincoln Riley and Billy Napier.
Yeah.
And that's not going to sit well with the LSU fan base.
And Terry, they've got Vanderbilt and Oklahoma left on the schedule.
Vanderbilt is no picnic.
No.
I'm telling you. Really nice win for Florida. The atmosphere, the home crowd. Before we move on, I want to get to Georgia, though. I'm concerned with Georgia. Great win for Georgia. Great win. Tennessee jumps out 10-0, and it looked like they had control, and Georgia just reeled them in. Here's my concern with Georgia, and it's tied to the committee. I'm worried that the committee is going to play this woke, politically correct. I'm worried. Does the SEC and the Big Ten, are they a 3-bid or a 4-bid league?
If
they're a 3-bid league, and I think that's where the committee is going to go, trying to make everybody happy. And when I say that, the SEC championship game is the quickest, easiest way for Georgia to get to the playoff. But they've got to win their way there. Right now, barring a major upset, either Texas or Texas A&M's half the tournament. I'm sorry, half of Atlanta. It's going to be Texas or Texas A&M.
Right.
If Georgia, I think, to safely get in, they really need Florida to upset Ole Miss Saturday, I think. Because the way I look at it, Brent, tell me how you look at it. Right now, I think the SEC and the Big Ten, their championship games, both teams are getting in. Okay, whoever it is. Okay, so there's 2 from the SEC and the Big Ten. I think I'm worried it's only going to be a +1. And if it's a +1, let's say Texas wins out, they get in, and let's say Ole Miss beats Florida, Ole Miss could get in. It could be Texas, Ole Miss. Now, if it's only 1 more, you're looking at, does the committee go Alabama or Georgia? And then Alabama's got the head-to-head over Georgia. So conventional thinking would be Texas, Ole Miss get in because they made it to Atlanta in this scenario. Who gets that +1 from the SEC? Is it, if it's same record Georgia, same record Alabama, Alabama would get that nod, wouldn't they? And I think Georgia would get closed out, even though the SEC should get 4. I think they're only going to get 3. I'm concerned.
So am I. But see, what we don't know is would a 2-loss team that loses the SEC championship game, would they still be able to go to the playoffs? And see, that's what we don't know. That's the thing that's got people really concerned. And that is why you've got fan bases who are actually saying, we think it would be better if we don't get into the SEC championship game, which is ludicrous, frankly.
It is ludicrous.
That makes you say that because you always want to win a championship. But again, Terry, we don't know what this committee is going to do.
And keep in mind, the magic number is 12. Only 12 are going to the college football playoff.
Yes.
So let's do some math here. I think, to be politically correct, this year's committee is not going to want to only give the ACC and the Big 12 1. I think they're going to want to give them 2. Okay, you with me? So, here's the math. If the committee says we've got to give the ACC 2 bids, the 2 championship teams, same with the Big 12. Okay, 3 to make the numbers work. you can't give the SEC and also the Big Ten 4 if you give the ACC and the Big 12 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I agree.
The numbers would be 3, 3, 2, 2, Notre Dame group of 5, and that equals 12.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the concern. You got to remember Notre Dame and the group of 5. So 3 from the SEC, 3 from the Big Ten, there's 6. 2 from the ACC is 8. 2 more from the Big 12, that's 10. Notre Dame, group of 5, that's 12. I think that's where they're going to go. And there's a fear that the 4th team in the SEC and the 4th team in the Big Ten are going to get closed out because of politically correctness, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on that?
I have similar thoughts. Now, again, a couple of things going here. One, what we're talking about is exactly why the SEC and the Big Ten want to expand as early as 2026.
Absolutely.
And they're going to 14 or 16. Here's the other thing that's going to happen with this, and you can see this going on. I'm just guessing here, okay? But you can follow the logic with some of this stuff as you and I normally do. This may also be the last year, and I think they've got another year, but this may be the last year the group of 5 get in and have a guarantee. I think. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you, they are that will be your first sacrificial lamb. Will be the group of 5, and there's gonna be weeping and gnashing of teeth. But can't you see that coming?
Yes, now? I can. But again, doing the math, let's go to there's a lot of people say, no way, Terry. The SEC, the committee is going to put 4 in from the SEC, and the committee is going to put 4 in from the Big Ten. Well, that's 8. 4 and 4 is 8, Brent.
It is.
Okay? You're going to 12. So you're going to 12. That would mean the ACC only gets 1 guaranteed. Well, there's 9, right? Yep. The Big 12 only gets 1, but there's 10 at Notre Dame, group of 5. Mm-hmm. There's 12. But I don't think they want to – I think they feel like they'll have egg in their – wait a minute. You gave the big bad SEC and Big Ten 4, and only 1. The math just doesn't – they're going to bail out politically correct. And I'm telling you, a good team or 2 from the SEC and a good team or 2 from the Big Ten is going to get left out, in my opinion. If they only go 3 and 3, somebody's going to get left out, be it Georgia, be it Penn State, be it Indiana, be it Alabama, right? I think they're going to bail out. And this year, because it's only 12, not 14 or 16, man, Brent, and I don't think why should the group of 5 be piggybacked? Yeah. Why should Notre Dame be piggybacked?
Yeah.
I don't know, Brent. Tell me I'm wrong here.
Well, I wish I could, but I really can. And the other issue here is that's going to be shouted from the mountaintop is frankly going to be Notre Dame's strength of schedule.
It's terrible.
And they've got, as we know, they've got Army this weekend, and that's a neutral site. And then they've got Southern Cal. And again, Southern Cal and Florida State, for that matter, would have given them a big bump. But instead, that didn't happen.
Not this year. All right, Brent, we'll keep you around the second segment. But real quick, winners from this weekend. Georgia, huge winner from this weekend. They basically knocked out Tennessee. And Georgia was down 10-0 in that game. They were down. Florida, nice win for the Gators, for the program, knocks LSU out. Great win in a wild game for South Carolina. Big winner. That knocks Missouri all the way out of contention for Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And I think it makes South Carolina bowl eligible, and it helps them go to a higher bowl, I think. Texas, it got dicey in the third quarter, but they pulled out the win. They only needed a win. Boise State was pushed, and I hate to root against Boise State, but I'm rooting against them. I want them out of the way because I don't think they deserve it, but they And what about a huge final conference win for Clemson? Clemson, if they win out, they're going to the ACC championship game, I think. That was a big win for Clemson over Pittsburgh.
There's no doubt about that. Now, look, your ACC situation is you you've got Miami that's got Wake Forest and Syracuse. You've got Clemson with the Citadel in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Now that would be a really big game. And then you've got SMU that's 9-1. And, SMU's undefeated in the conference.
Yes, and I heard over the weekend, Britt, if Clemson, even though they're done in conference play, if Clemson and SMU went out, they go to Charlotte. Miami's going to get squeezed out of this thing. If they're only a one bid league, that's why I think, think about it. Miami's going to get squeezed out. Man, Boise State is in the way.
Yeah.
If you ask me, they're in the way. The group of five's in the way. Real nice win for Clemson. Losers, Tennessee, LSU, and BYU. I mean, unless like I said, the Big 12, I think the committee wants to put the championship game winners, both of them, to put the winners of the ACC and the Big 12. You can't give 4 bids to the SEC and the Big 10. The math just doesn't work.
I'm just wondering, I'm thinking out loud here. Now, Ohio State likely, even though they're playing well, Ohio State plays Indiana this weekend.
Yes.
And that's a gargantuan game. So with that, if Ohio State boat raced Indiana, would that leave Indiana out?
Boy, that'd be their first and only loss, though, right?
Yeah, and it would be hard. That'd be hard to tell them that.
Yeah,
I get it.
Right now, the SEC, and we'll go to break, come back, and look at some of the games coming up this weekend. Let's call Texas A&M, the Texas schools. Okay, Texas schools, Ole Miss, Alabama, Georgia. That's 5 schools in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
The Big 10 is 4 heavy, but you're talking Oregon, Ohio State, Indiana, Penn State. Man, if you only give those 2 leagues 3 bids, you're leaving out some good football teams just for politically correctness.
Yeah.
Just to allow 2 from the ACC and 2 from the Big 12. But I think that's what the committee's going to do. They don't want to look so top heavy year one. They don't want to go 4-4-1-1 of the power, right? I think they're going to go 3-3-2-2, and that puts Georgia in a precarious spot. That puts Penn State or Indiana in a precarious spot. And then you look up, and Boise State, I know they've got the Heisman Trophy guy, but even if Boise got in and won a game, I still don't think they deserve to be in there.
Yeah.
I guess I'm an old crotchety, I don't know, man. I'm just not into the politically correct. The issue with the PC stuff is for every PC side you help out with training wheels, you're knocking on the other end, you're knocking down somebody for PC purposes, not on the field purposes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and this is why, there are layers of this thing. One is the SEC and the Big 10 want to expand as soon as possible. You see now why. Yep. Even before we played even one playoff game. So that means, what do we do? Well, we can expand in 25, 26. And this is why people wrote about all this in the offseason. Can you see, Terry, with this, that both those commissioners getting to the point to where,
yes,
if they get to 2 or 3 teams shafted, as they would look at it every year, well, now we've had enough of this, and we're just going to break away and do our own playoff.
Yep.
Can't you see that coming sooner than later with this going on?
I like your word shafted as we go to break right there. It looks like if my theory is right and they go PC, that committee goes PC, and they only go 3-3, 3 teams each from the SEC and Big 10, there's going to be those 2 conferences combined are going to have 3 or 4 teams shafted.
Yeah, that's right.
I could live with 1 shafted maybe, okay, but 3 or 4 teams are going to be shafted.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's take a break, Brent. If you got time, we'll keep it around. I know you've got some topics you want to hit. We'll look at a couple, 3 or 4 big games coming up. That and a whole lot more college football talk on the other side. The Young and Norvelle Show continuing from Icebreakers Bar and Grill.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Jax Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Jax Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Jax Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
All right, let's dive right back into the heavy-duty college football talk. Brent Beard joining me here on a Monday, the Young Norvelle Show, coming to you from Icebreakers Bar and Grill inside the Community First Igloo. Brent, I'm just stubborn, I guess. I'm going to go back real quick to this SEC thing because I'm telling you I'm worried about that committee going 3, not 4.
Yeah.
Okay? Oh, here's where I want to go, though. Boy, Florida could take care of a lot of this. And if you're a Georgia fan, I'm rooting for Florida like crazy. If Florida knocks off Ole Miss, that would help a lot in this log jam because let's say Texas beats A&M. That would knock A&M out. They would only have 2 conference losses, but they'd be 3 overall losses, and they'd be out of even an at-large. They would be out of it, in my humble opinion. If Florida also wins Saturday, somehow upsets Ole Miss, that knocks Ole Miss out. Well, then you're looking at Texas, probably Alabama in Atlanta, I think they both would go to the college football playoff. And then Georgia would get that +1.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Georgia would get that +1.
Right.
So if that would be my fear for Georgia if that doesn't happen. If Ole Miss wins, keep in mind Ole Miss beat Georgia. So if it came down to who gets the +1, Ole Miss or Georgia, well, Ole Miss would get that nod probably. If I'm Georgia, I'm rooting for Florida like crazy to knock off. Hell, if I'm one of the other, if I'm Texas, Alabama, or Georgia, I'm rooting for Florida to knock off Ole Miss, right?
Well, yeah, agreed. And now Ole Miss, too, only had, I mean, they've got Florida and Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Mississippi State could rise up and play them.
And if they do, they don't deserve to go.
Yeah. Right? I agree. But now this is going to sound funny, but you'll get this. We were a win over Georgia and a win over Tennessee from virtually having this same conversation about Florida.
How about that? Hey, there's Patric Young. Hey, buddy, what's going on?
Hey, brother.
Man, we've been railing on this this committee. I hope they don't do the wrong thing, man. I hope they don't do the wrong thing. Well, no, I mean, there's conventional thinking that the committee will go 4 SEC teams and 4 Big Ten, but what worries me, Pat, we're dealing with the number 12. Okay, 4 and 4 is 8. If you go 4 and 4, you eat up 8 spots. You've got to give the ACC a spot. So you got to give the Big 12 a spot. There's 10. Here's the concern. If you're the committee, I think they're going to bail out and go politically correct. They should go 4-4-1-1, in my opinion, and Brent's. But I think they're going to bail out and go, no, we've got to give the 2 teams that play in the ACC and the 2 teams that play in the Big 12, we got to get both of them in. So if you do that, it's got to be 3-3-2-2. Well, if it goes 3-3, you're going to leave out. You're leaving out potentially a couple good teams in the Big Ten and the SEC.
Why is it so hard to not have a committee?
Well, it's not. The conferences aren't broken up enough.
Okay.
I mean, I would be fine. You really need to model the NFL. The NFL has 2 conferences with multiple divisions, and that's how they come up with their 16 or 14 teams.
Yeah.
We don't have 2 big conferences yet that are cut up into, if we had the SEC, the SEC and the Big Ten were the only 2 big conferences. You have 48 teams, and you're cut up into 32 teams each. 4 8-team divisions. You just model like the NFL. Win your division, you get in. And then there's a couple of wild cards, best records. That's where we need to get to, Patrick. We got to get these committees out of there.
I mean, I don't know if just the people on television are just having too much fun talking about it. And
I don't know.
Trying to just
Brent, chime in here. I mean,
Pat,
the NFL doesn't have committees. They don't have meetings and who's going to get in. They just go by record, win games.
Yeah, and they're going to have to come up with a better way. I agree, a better way of doing it. But Pat, the thing they're going to do is in 2026, they're going to expand the playoffs to 12 or 14.
Oh, why?
Yeah. Now, really, what 24, 25 are probably are guinea pig years to see how this thing's going to go.
I agree. It is a bit of a guinea pig year.
When you guys this first year of playoffs like this, to give it 4 years before.
Well,
a little bit more time.
Yeah, Pat. Here's the deal. That's too logical, frankly.
Yeah.
It's always one extreme to another.
Oh yeah,
always.
Yeah, and see what's going to happen is, to Terry's point, a deserving team in the Big Ten and in the SEC could be left out, and because of that, the commissioners are going to say, "Well, we're not going to put up with this very long, So we're going to expand it. So now I would be very surprised if it just stayed at 12. I mean, I hear your point. Frankly, your point's a good one. But look, they're looking for more teams, more money, and you go from there.
Sankey was against going to 4 in the first place. He was against going to 4, and then he was against going to 12. Now he's like, okay, now 12, we got it. And the only way, if knowing Greg Sankey and knowing how frustrated he was that basketball wasn't getting enough teams into the tournament, I can only imagine how livid he would be if, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee make it, and I don't know who else is like right there 2 spot, to be a next highest rank. I know it's not LSU. How am I forgetting?
Ole Miss, A&M, Texas, Alabama, Georgia.
Potentially Ole Miss.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, your boy Sankey, he was pulling double duty Saturday. I saw him in the press box in Gainesville, and then I heard he was in Athens. And
wow.
and Patrick, when I was going to the game Saturday in Gainesville, I'm driving down 24. I'm right next to the airport, right? Heading toward the stadium. And very low. The airport's right there. This beautiful Learjet comes right. I just thought to myself, man, that's just some big old booster and all. And then I see Sankey in the press box. It's probably Sankey's jet.
Yeah. Oh man, that would have been cool to see him.
And then you hear that Sankey was also at Athens that night. So he got on that jet, and he was shaking hands at both places. Let me go back. Here's another thing.
That's amazing.
Here's another thing about, how does the NFL do it, and why don't they just do it the NFL way? Well, keep in mind, and this is how ludicrous this politically correct stuff is. The NFL doesn't do this politically correct stuff. Could you imagine if the NFL playoffs every year when they roll around, if the NFL goes, well, okay, the season's over. Here are the teams, but we're gonna put some extra. We don't have enough teams west of the Mississippi, so we're gonna make sure that we got to put so many teams west of the Mississippi or above the Mason-Dixon line just to be politically correct. No, politically correct. Hell, get the best teams in.
Oh yeah,
right? Hell, it's politically correct.
I don't get it. Like, if we were talking about elementary school sports, and maybe you don't want to break kids' hearts about not being good enough, I would respect that. When obviously you would respect that. I don't agree in participation trophies, but I can see the angle. But
hell with those kids, Patrick. Hell with them.
For college athletes, for NFL professional athletes, like, what are we talking about here? This is so dumb. Like, PC in competitive sports.
Yeah. I mean, as fun as a story as Boise State is.
Oh yeah.
I don't care about the group. They've had that group of 5 in the whole time. They get that special dispensation. You got to put one group of 5. Why? Why do you have to? Why?
Oh yeah, and this too, Terry. You made me forget. Yeah, Notre Dame's going to take one of those spots.
Yeah,
they finished out. Yeah, so that's
now to the committee. Notre Dame, it's not written in stone. They get one, but the fact that they just have only lost one game, they're going to get a bid, right? They're going to get a bid. It's not in the bylaws like the group of 5 is in the bylaws, right, Brent?
Well, now I'll say this, that they are in the bylaws now.
Are they? Go ahead. If they're ranked so high or whatever.
Now,
at least they got to win their way in.
Now, listen. Here's the other thing that's going to be involved with this, and we've talked about this 2 or 3 times, and it bears repeating here. Your team that's going to be out of it is a team that's not going to bring in very much TV eyeballs, because I can tell you they'll never ever on their life admit this, but if this thing's down to a team that has averaged great ratings during the year as compared to let's just say if it's between Georgia and Missouri. Okay, you tell me who's going in and who's staying out, okay?
Or Penn State, Indiana.
Yes.
Indiana. Who traditional old school Penn State or Indiana out of nowhere.
Well, Indiana, if they do the unthinkable, if they can keep that game close, up in what's it called? Ohio State. What's their arena?
Horseshoe, baby. Horseshoe.
I'm so mad I can't remember the name right now. I felt really good about how I was presenting that, and I just flopped
The
on my
Horseshoe,
face.
baby. Columbus. The Horseshoe.
If Indiana can go up to the Horseshoe and show that Hoosier love out there, and I mean, what do you think? You know, if Indiana loses by a one-score game, a touchdown,
yeah,
I think that gives them enough cred against the number 2 team to get their way in there. You know, depending on how they finish out the rest of those games. But yeah, if they get blown out by Ohio State,
just think how much easier it would be. And still, I don't want committees. Don't get me wrong. I want committees out. I want the NFL. You put wins and losses on the record book and see who. But just think how easy this would be. Much easier if there was no group of 5 guaranteed gets in, and there was no special dispensation for Notre Dame being ranked so high. If you had 2 more wild card at-large bids, it would be so much easier, right? It still wouldn't be perfect. It still wouldn't be perfect, but it
still wouldn't be perfect. But
you'd still have a committee, but it'd be better, you know.
Dude, man, what does Notre Dame do? Like, if I make it with this, why would I want anything to change?
Yeah,
why would I?
Well, and that's the problem. Notre Dame's schedule is not good. Guys, let me throw you a curveball.
Okay.
I'm not sure Indiana's not better than Penn State.
Might be. But yeah, they might be. Hey, Pat, before we get out of here, we really need to touch base. I don't know where the basketball season is going to go, and I don't know if the situation is going to fracture as the season plays out the team or galvanize the team. But my God, I'm a broken record. That Florida basketball team is good.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of good players, Patrick. That was impressive.
What's so positive about it? Yes, they're good, but they still, and I'm sure did you watch whole Florida? Yeah, we were texting each other back and forth on it.
Yeah, absolutely watched the game.
Just have those little stinker back and forth, up and down, where one dribble shot. Or one pass, no pass shot.
Yeah.
You know, it's an IQ thing. When the other team like Florida State is reeling, they can't stop you. Like, okay, that's too easy to defend. And man, what's going on with Florida State, man?
Boy, they make you play ugly though, don't they? Florida State has those long run and jump athletes. They make you play an ugly basketball game. Brent, did you see the game Friday night?
Yeah,
it's good, man. They've got a lot of players, man.
The thing that impressed me, and I'm curious what Pat thought, is when the game was really on the line and Florida State was on the edge of coming back.
Down by 5.
Florida shot the lights out and put them away.
Yeah.
Down 5. Yeah, that's right. Florida State did cut. It's like, and you know, how much can I complain about their offense at times, because they still scored 84 points.
Yeah.
I will say though, there were stretches where Florida got sloppy and ugly. FSU makes you play like that, man. They play. They always have great athletes. They're long, as you know, Pat. You played against them. They're long. They run. They jump.
Man.
And they play street ball. And they play kind of street ball. And it makes you play that. I think. Help me out, Pat. It just makes you kind of play an ugly game, I think.
He always has freakishly long, tall people on those rosters.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, like every single season. And man, I do honestly, because I respect the heck out of Leonard Hamilton.
Yeah,
I wish that COVID year didn't deter one of his best teams he had.
They were good, man, that
in his
year.
tenure. They might have got a 1 seed.
And guys, by the way, my Florida State source still tells me that probably Leonard may be retiring after this year.
Well, I'll say this, and I've always liked Leonard too. I've had him on our show a couple times, and he's just a straight not on this show, on different shows.
That's cool.
He's just a straight shooter. I mean, he's you know, if you ask a dumb question, he'll tell you it's a dumb question. We
need people like that.
Yeah, I agree. Watching the game Friday night, Coach Hamilton looked old. He really did. He looked older, man. He looked tired. Yeah. Hell of a career though.
Who do you think takes over? Does he pull a Tony Bennett and, you know, to make sure one of his guys gets it? Or
I don't think he's got a guy on that bench. The closest guy on that bench is Stan Jones, who's 105 himself.
I know, right? I've known Stan Jones since he was recruiting me he's always looked like really old.
Yeah.
Always.
I'll tell you though, man, he's been
he
a
had
loyal.
to be in his 40s or 50s when he was recruiting me, and I'm like, man,
yeah.
You played hard when you were younger.
He's been a loyal assistant though, hasn't he? He's always been next to Leonard's side, man.
He's always been there, man.
He's been.
Hey, they have a great brotherhood over there. I know some guys that played, and they have a great brotherhood.
And by the way, guys, congrats to Purdue. They had a big game with Alabama a few nights ago. Nip and tuck. Purdue had a 13-0 run. Bama just couldn't catch up. But Nate Oates said, "Look, this is why we're playing a schedule like this to learn how to do it." And they've got Illinois in Birmingham Wednesday night, so that'll they're trying to play some Big Ten teams.
That right there, Pat and Brent, is what we talk about. The basketball season should be moved back, not up. I didn't even know they played. I didn't even know.
I know, man.
How bad
is
that? How bad is that?
Yeah, that Duke. Oh man, it's cool. Kentucky they won social media. They broke down Mark Pope on those last few possessions of what exactly the team needs to do defensively to stop Cooper Flagg, and they did it. Stole the ball when he spun. Like, wow, man, what a cool moment. That kid,
Brent,
Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, he's a nice athlete, hell of an athlete.
He's one-on-one, man.
Brent, real quick, not to belabor this, but is this a good Purdue team again? I don't know. Are they?
They don't. Yeah, they don't have Edey, but they've still got athletes.
Yeah, that Braden Smith.
Nice
player. Lawyer, like those guys, man, they know how to play basketball.
They do know how to play basketball.
Yeah, this new guy, was he there? Kaufman Wren, was he there last season?
Yes, he was there last year. That three-name guy, hyphen guy, yes.
Man, what a jump he's made from last year to this year.
Yeah.
And by the way, A&M won the other night, and they really look good. It was a home game for them. The Taylor kid is back. A lot of those guys are back.
Yeah.
Now look, as Pat said last year, A&M can play defense. If they could ever score, they could really be dangerous. Right. So maybe this year they are.
Who else is knocking shots down besides Wade Taylor? I look at their stat sheet and I'm like, did they not? And I love Coach. Yeah. Like, Coach, did you not get guys that can shoot the ball a little bit?
Yeah.
Solomon Washington, he's a great athlete. He don't need to be shooting threes. I hate to say it.
A&M will just assume beat you 58-54.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. Hey, Pat, if we may ask, when do you begin your journeys to for SEC Network?
I don't want to be negative here. Tomorrow, I'm going. I'm doing the game with A&M tomorrow.
Really?
So I reached out to my boss because I haven't gotten any scheduling, and I'm like, hey man, and this is today. It's like, hey man, so do I have the same schedule as last year? Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday? It's like, I really don't know yet because we haven't gotten the spaces. So I don't know. I'm just a long-winded way of saying I don't know.
Yeah. I understand.
And Brent, you may not have heard. He's so impressed. Patric Young is so impressed with me and my whole makeup that he went over there and took the JU ESPN3 job. He's calling JU basketball now over the campus that Terry Norvelle built.
Should be two games. Should have who's the first one? I forgot. But December 5th and 14th.
Okay.
Hey, Dick. Say hi to the guys.
Who's that?
Say hi to the guys. Say hi to our fans, Bubba.
All right.
That's Decker. And he's representing.
Decker, yeah. Oh, nice.
My boy representing.
Hey guys, speaking of basketball, Pat, how about UNF? Can we give them a little bit of love?
They're knocking everybody off.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. And I wish they would. I hate to say it, but I wish they would have beat Georgia. Coach Driscoll's been here for so long. His first year,
he's a mess, man.
My junior year of high school. So like I've known him for so long, and he's
a mess and a good mess. Hey, wherever Coach Driscoll, wherever he's at right now, he's going about 150 miles an hour. Wherever he's at.
They have a game tonight.
He's going about 150 miles an hour right now.
Now, Pat, real quick, why are they so much improved? Did they go to the portal, What did they do? Do we know yet?
I don't know, but I mean, he's done a really good job of recruiting division, guys that end up coming out of Jacksonville, and then as well as guys that just turn into really solid players. They lost Chaz Lanier to Tennessee.
I was going to say they lost a good player to the portal.
Yeah, Chaz Lanier. He's with Tennessee, and I think he's doing great. Watch out for Tennessee this year.
Watch out for the Dolphins when they get a hold of those Ospreys, though. It's going to be
hey, we have to go to that. Both of them. We have to go to both games.
We damn sure will. All right, boys, let's get out of here. Good Monday. Brent, good stuff. Patrick Young, appreciate you as always. And, of course, our good people here at Icebreakers Bar and Grill inside the Community First Igloo. This is the home of the Icemen, their corporate offices and their practice facility. If you have not been over here, you are missing it. What a wonderful sports bar. What a wonderful venue they have. The Igloo, the Community First Igloo off the Emerson exit. Come by, check it out. Great lunch, great sports bar here. That'll do it. We'll get back together tomorrow. We'll be set up live in the heart of Mandarin at Hurricanes Jointon Creek. We'll do it from 4 to 6. You have hooked up with the Young and Norvelle Show. We'll do it tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Monday, everybody.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jax Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jax Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jax Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 143.